What's up guys, back for another Hawkeye Star Wars video. In this video we are going to be going over the variable dice and the wishful resin items, how to get them and what best to use them on. So first things first, the variable dice item is an item that allows you to fully reroll 5-star relics. However, does not change what rolls they are, just what they go into. For example, if we go over, let's say, to my herder right here, we have 2 in crit rate and 2 in crit damage. If I were to re-roll this, the stats would still be flat attack, crit rate, crit damage, break effect, but the 4 rolls would switch. We could get 1 in attack, 1 in crit rate, and then 2 in break effect, right? So obviously I would not re-roll this piece because it's pretty damn good, right? But if, let's say, I had really bad rolls, I'd re-roll it and then we would get something new. On the plus side as well, when you re-roll with the dice, you can pick which one. So if I were to re-roll this and it was worse than what I wanted, I could keep the old one, or if it was better, I would pick the new one. That is very, very good that they do that, because can you imagine just having a piece, re-rolling it, and it somehow got worse, and now you're stuck with even a worse piece? That would be pretty stinky, right? Then the wishful resin item is when you go to your relic crafting. Let's say you want to make one of the new set and you're making a body piece and you want crit rate with some crit damage. You would go to custom synthesis, and now on the top you have a self model resin. You would click crit rate, and then down here you would click crit damage. You can actually pick 2 substats. However, I would not recommend it as it takes a lot. So if I do speed as well, it now takes 4 instead of 1. And in my opinion, while it could be a very, very good piece, you still have to roll it at the end of the day. And having 4 instead of 1 is kind of asking a lot, I'm not gonna lie, right? But those are the 2 items, the wishful resin and the variable dice. Now, how to get them, there is a few ways. As of right now, the easiest way to get the dice is from the mem login. You can't see it on my screen because I've already done it. You get 1 dice and you also get 10 pulls. Then there was a error that gave you another dice and a couple of jades as well. Other than that, the only other way to get it is using 3 self-model resin. As you can see, I can make 2 more dice. I'm not going to because I need myself model resin. I'm gonna chill on that. But if I needed a dice, I would convert it and I'd be good to go. There is no limit on how many variable dice you can make, which is kind of nice, right? Unfortunately, the wishful resin is not the same. So every single month, yes, on monthly reset, same time that the passes, exchange, and all that good stuff, you can make 2 wishful resin by using 800 relic remains, right? That means you need 1,600 relic remains to make 2 wishful resin. Then, I've already done this, but you can do it 3 times. You can also get 3 wishful resin for 3 of your self-model resin, right? I've already done this. I had 9 self-model resin, and then I activated this and we're good to go, right? Now, there is another way to get wishful resin and also another way to get variable dice. However, it is paid, right? If you go to the battle pass, you can see there's 1 wishful resin you can get for the paid version, and there is 1 variable dice you can get from the paid version and 1 from the free one, right? But you do have to spend money, right? So I didn't really want to include it. There's also packs you can get in the store that also have it in it, but like I said, they are not free, so I didn't really want to include them because most people are not going to be buying these, and you really shouldn't be buying these. They aren't too crazy, but the battle pass, at least, it's somewhat more reasonable that people would actually buy it, so I figured I would include it. But you do get 1 from the top row, which is going to be the free one, so that's pretty nice. They give a wishful resin for free. Now, as of right now, we have no idea if they're going to include these in events, which is a little unfortunate because they are very strong. I mean, to be fair, they're really strong, so I can see why they don't want to have it in like every single event. But I mean, it would be pretty nice because at the end of the day, it is still RNG, and you can just straight get screwed and just not get anything good. Now, what should you use them on, right? By far, the best thing to use your wishful resin on is going to be ropes, right? Now, energy regen is one hell of a roll to get. Energy regen with speed is probably going to be your best bet for a lot of your supports, like Sunday. you know, if you run it on Linksha, if you run it on, you know, Fugue, if you run it on even old Yun, pretty much every single support really wants energy regeneration rate, or hell, even break effect and speed is really hard to get. Now this is good because it only takes one Wishful Resin. If you're doing it for a DPS, more than likely you're going to do crit and crit damage, which you can if you really want to, like it's the last piece you need, but taking 4 Wishful Resin is just way too much in my opinion, so I'd rather just go for the 1 roll and go from there. But energy regen is probably going to be the best one you could pick, because man, oh man, getting energy regen with a stat you need is so hard to get, right? Other than that, the next best thing would probably be the planar spheres as well, right? Because look how many options there are. Like, hello, what were they thinking? The only other one that has just as many options is going to be the chess piece, right? But this is not nearly as much as the other one. You have what, 6, 7 versus the orbs, who have a total of, geez, 10. Yeah, 10 options. Yeah, these are pretty rough, right? But what I recommend you guys doing, and I know it is technically a damage nerf most of the time, depending on the character, I'd recommend going attack percent on the orbs you're trying to make. That way, if you get a good orb, you can then put it on any character, right? For example, I believe my Herda at the moment has an attack orb. This was my Acheron's orb, right? This orb is pretty good, as I went to crit rate and crit damage twice and then effect res once, right? Now, the reason this is good for me and why I recommend making attack orbs over the elemental orbs, because this was Acheron's. Now, if it was lightning, Herda couldn't use it, right? But since I have it at its attack percent, Herda can use it, right? And then I ended up getting this one for Acheron. Funny enough, this is the one I rerolled. It was 3 in HP and 1 in speed, and now it's 2 in crit damage, 1 in speed, 1 in HP. 100% gonna take that, right? I am pretty good. I don't need to reroll it. It is good to go, right? So this is also a good example of what to use the dice on. Definitely only do it on one that has 2 or 3 rolls. Recommended 3 rolls that are good. Rolls that are good for your DPS depends on who it is. Most of the time it's going to be crit rate, crit damage speed, or crit rate, crit damage attack percent, right? Don't do it if you have HP defense and then crit rate, crit damage, because most of the time you're going to reroll it and it's going to go south, right? You could get really lucky, but dice are going to be, you know, small in quantity, and you definitely don't want to just keep wasting them on a piece that is just potentially not going to be good, right? So like I said, I recommend having 3 stats. Most of the time the yellow indicator is going to be a pretty good indication. Depending on some units, they don't have it. I'll probably make a separate video going over the build guides and what they recommend, because some of them are pretty funky, right? But this is what I recommend for the dice. And then, you know, attack percent orbs, so you can use it more exchangeably with other units, is a good idea. For the rope, ER with speed, ER with whatever stat you really need is just the best one to do. And then after that, it's really just speed boots with whatever you need. You cannot use it on the head or hand pieces. We'll go over that real quick to show you guys. You couldn't even use self-model resin on it, because technically speaking, it's always the same main stat, right? So you can only use it on these 2, right? But like I said, speed is, I know it's annoying, but there's only a 1 in 4 chance right here. There's only so many options. It does suck, and a lot of people are like, damn, I just need good speed boots. I mean, hey, I'm right there with you, but it's definitely better to go for the body pieces or the orbs or the link rope instead. Now, that's pretty much it for the video. Let me know in the comments what you are making with your self-model resin, your wishful resin, if you're rerolling anything. I've seen some crazy rerolls of like straight up 4 into crit damage, and that is pretty crazy. Now, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure when you reroll, it takes away a 5th roll. So if you have 5 rolls, I've only seen 4 rolls myself. If you want to debunk me in the comments, let me know and I'll like pin it or something. But that is something to keep in mind. But regardless, this makes relic grinding way better and way more efficient. Does it fix the issue with how long it takes? Definitely not, but it definitely is a step in the right direction. But anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next Honkai Star Rail video.